Well, one student who's part of that program wants to be a pastry chef in the near future. For now, though, she's a player on the Denellen High softball team who approaches the game from a very unique perspective. Once again, here's Joe Hartley.
Softball players are classified by position and handedness, and Denellen High's Vanesa Hernandez is no different. The first baseman and pitcher bats left-handed and fields and throws with her right hand. You heard me right. She fields and throws with the same hand, because it's the only one she has.
I've never found it challenging because I've been doing it since I was so young, because I've adjusted myself. I've had no one teach me. Just like I learned myself to tie my shoes, no one taught me, I taught myself. So it was basically, I was the teacher and the student.
She's both a Golden Apple teacher and an A+ student. You have to watch in slow motion to really appreciate how fluidly she transitions from catching to throwing, cradling the glove against her chest with her left arm while removing her right hand, grabbing the ball, and firing away. Hitting is a different story.
Sometimes I find it challenging because when I go to bat, all the coaches ever tell players is rely on your top hand, rely on your top hand. My top hand is no hand, so I rely on my right arm the whole time, and sometimes it's challenging, but I kind of block out the judgment and try to function with my own style.
Her own style has made quite a name for herself. Well, maybe not exactly a name.
Everywhere I go to play, everybody already knows the girl with one hand. They don't know my name, they just know the girl with one hand, and that doesn't bother me because it's a description.
What does bother her is being known as a good one-handed player. She wants to be known as a good player who just happens to be one-handed.
I don't really like when people just look at me because, oh, she has one hand, she's a good athlete. Look at me because I am a good athlete and I'm doing well at the sport, not just for a girl with one hand, I do good. I want to be good compared to everybody else with two hands.
With her unique condition, it's easy to make the connection between her and her idol, former major leaguer Jim Abbott.
I looked at him and I was like, wow, that he's the same thing as me. Like, he's a pitcher, he has one hand. He was my idol. Most people look at like Jenny Finch, pitcher. I look at John Abbott, one hand.
Abbott is her idol, but not her inspiration. Hernandez didn't even know about him until she had already been playing for a couple of years. That is, after she convinced her mom she could do it.
She tried to hold me back a little bit because she was scared. She was like, no, you're not going to play. And I begged and I begged and I pushed, and she let me play.
When Hernandez isn't in the game, she makes her presence felt and her voice heard from the dugout.
Nice, it doesn't really matter if I'm not playing, it's just being a part of the team that makes me happy. So if I'm screaming my head off, like, I contributed because I'm pumping up the girls on the field.
No matter what, if Vanessa's on the bench, if she's in the field, if she's just batting, honestly, she's there. She's such a presence for us. She is always talking in the dugout. She's always throwing, always wanting to do extra. I feel privileged to be able to coach somebody like that has such, inner strength to be able to come out and do what she does and not care what people say. And that's just, I'm proud to have her on my team. I'm proud to say she's one of mine.